BeatStars. Now you listening to Prime Stars. Prime Stars. Now you listening to Prime Stars.
Good job, Spike!
Hi, everybody. Mark your calendars, please, for the hottest event of the new year because the BeatStars Awards are almost here. Join the BeatStars family as we honor and celebrate some of the most talented and active creators in our community, all coming to you live this Sunday, January 10th at 12 p.m. Eastern. So to check out our finalists and learn more about the event, go to www.beatstars.awards.com. But yo, I'm so happy to see you guys. It's been a minute. I know it's been a little while. It's been a couple weeks, but your girl needed a little vacation, a little break. You feel me? I hope everybody had a safe and happy holiday. Missed you guys very, very much. Welcome back to The Deal. I'm your host, Tia Gordon, and I'm the playlist manager here at BeatStars. If you're new here, here's your warm welcome. This show is about highlighting the community that have joined the BeatStars family by signing to BeatStars Publishing, which is a team effort between BeatStars and Sony ATV, who are the #1 global music publisher in the world. So for more information, you could check out beatstars.com/publishing. If you're interested in us representing you, there's an application you can fill out. We also have an Instagram account that you can follow. And honest to God, guys, if you've been here long enough, I hope you're already following. It's at BeatStars Publishing. You can get better acquainted with our roster and get some free game on what publishing is and some tips and tricks and all that other stuff for your head top. You feel me? This week, we are hanging out with Mars, aka Mars Beats 95. But if you want to check out all of our other interviews that you may have missed last year and get yourself up on game just a little bit, you can go to our YouTube channel /official BeatStars. Don't forget to subscribe because we upload all the time. So now I'm going to go ahead and bring in Mars. I need everybody to go crazy in the chat. There you go. Hi. Welcome to The Deal. How's it going? I can't hear you again. I don't know why.
Hear me now?
Yes. I don't know if you got to get like right in the All right. Everyone's giving you a warm welcome. Okay. You know, I've seen a lot of comments like this, so I'm just going to address it nice and early so that we get it out the way. Everyone keeps saying you look like King Von. And I don't know if you have a comment for that, but I just want to get it out the way so it's acknowledged so we don't have to say it 500 times. Leave this man alone, please, y'all. But go ahead and introduce yourself. I want to know, where you're from and how you got started in music.
I'm from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Born and raised.
You're cutting out. I don't know
How
why.
now?
Yes, good.
All right, I'm from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Born and raised. I've always been like music influence.
All right, I gotta pause because I really cannot hear you. It's cutting in and out. Do you want to try swap into like a phone or something? I don't know if you can. Just so we can get all the information. In the meantime, while we get that sorted out, I don't know if you guys were just with us in the Instagram live chat, but I would love to hear about or read about some of your New Year's resolutions, guys, or your goals. I need to stop saying guys. I need a more gender neutral term. Let me know. Drop it in the chat. And Mars, let me know if you're able to get in on a phone or anything. Look at all the tech support in the chat. You guys are great. Swap. There you go. Now you got to unmute yourself because you muted yourself. It's going to be fine. There. Nope, still muted. Unmute yourself. There you go. Yes, sir. There we go. Okay, so where are you from and how did you get started?
I'm from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Born and raised. It's like a small town, like down south. It's like a
maybe like an hour and a half away from Atlanta. Um, I've always been like musically influenced since I was like younger. Like my parents, like they did music, so like I've always been around keyboards, like music instruments and stuff. But like I later got into it in like maybe in middle school. I came across a software called like Mixcraft. This was like way before like FL Studio or anything. So like I started off like just me and my friends, like we was making beats and stuff on there. And then like I got FL Studio maybe about 10th grade in high school. And like ever since then I've just been making beats. And I actually like before like BeatStars was even a thing, like I was on SoundClick. Like and I was looking at different like producers like Johnny Giuliano, Vibe Beats. Like I would always like listen to they like beats and stuff. Like they were like big influences on me like back then. And then maybe about when I graduated, I would say high school. That's when I like started like just put my beats out there, like just throwing them on YouTube and like just trying to get the exposure. So I think around maybe was it 2015, 2016, somewhere around there, I found out about BeatStars and I started like uploading beats on there. Like I looked at them, they was kind of like the new SoundClick. Like everybody kind of like transferred over to there. Like it was the new thing. So I've literally like seen BeatStars like just start up from like day one. Like it's crazy.
That's actually so crazy, and I love that you brought up that you've been around music for so long. I know you mentioned some of the producers that you would vibe to, but do you have any early memories of any artists growing up that your parents would listen to? I know your mom just joined us in the BeatStars live Instagram. So
Yeah,
what was she bumping in the crib?
she was bumping what Sade, what's that, TLC, like a lot of the like the hip hop R&B era, like with around the like the 80s 90s.
Just vibes.
Yeah,
So when you
that's what
transition,
I remember like listening to and stuff.
I love that. That's similar. Like in my crib, we were listening to a lot of like old school, like 80s or like even late 70s music. So that's ingrained in me today and sounds I look for today still, especially on BeatStars and stuff like that. So when you transitioned over to BeatStars, like can you talk about how that shifted your career and how you were able to get exposure or even like what your first sale felt like when you were on BeatStars?
Um, like I kind of like had a follow already on SoundClick. So like when I transferred over to BeatStars, it was kind of like easy like to start up. And I think like the first sale I got was on a beat called, I think it was Control. And like it's crazy because like when that beat like it kind of like blew up on BeatStars, but then it blew up on YouTube as well. So like at the same time, it was like YouTube was coming up and BeatStars was coming up. So it was crazy.
So I love that you have like this cross-platform like existence. You exist on multiple platforms, which is something that we talk about a lot to like get yourself out there and not always putting all your eggs in one basket. How has that helped your career, like being on YouTube and previously being on SoundClick and being on BeatStars?
I
What kind
mean, I feel
of
like
give you?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just said, what kind of exposure has it offered you?
I would say YouTube, like it's kind of like the world. Like BeatStars is the same thing also, but like YouTube is like more of like if one beat blows up, like a lot of them follow behind it. So like a lot of people say like don't post beats on YouTube or anything like that. But like if you first starting out, like that's when you're gonna get like most of your exposure from. Like you just gotta keep being consistent with like uploading beats and just gotta have your own little routine that you go by.
For sure. And how do you stay consistent on there? How do you make sure that you're at the top of the rankings or the searches? Are you tagging things a certain way? Like how do you make that work for you?
Honestly, like I used to at first, I used to upload like every day. Like I used to at least try to post like a beat a day, like until something happened. So like it was kind of like in the beginning, it was kind of like the weight game. So like I was posting a beat, posting it on BeatStars, promote it on like on all of my platforms, and then just keep looking at the song. I kind of like try not to look at it, so I won't like get discouraged or anything. So that's kind of hmm, like everybody just have their own like routine. But like for me, like what keeps me motivated to do it is like I just my your mindset got to be there.
You gotta be ready to go
Yeah.
at all times. So you shared with me that you just reached 300,000 plays on BeatStars, which is huge. And I guess also that's a combination of you being on the platform and being active.
Mm-hmm.
Um, how have you been able to maintain like a fan base or build a community around your beats that you're putting up on BeatStars?
What's that? Really is Instagram. Like I feel like Instagram is like the meeting place of like everything now. Cause
Wow.
like Instagram is like where your followers are gonna like keep in contact with you like that. Then you're gonna be like, hey, I've been vibing to your beats for such and such years now. So I feel like Instagram is like kind of like that universal platform as far as like that brings like everything together.
Yeah, it's super interactive. I know a lot of people too. I'm starting to notice when I'm on the platform myself. I'm starting to notice like comments on people's beats. I think that's another really great way. I don't know if that's something that you do. If you comment on other people's beats, I imagine you receive tons of comments,
Yeah.
but that's a good way to connect as well. So um, you're right. Instagram is a huge piece. And then you also told me that you've made over 2,000 beats. So
Yeah.
what does a day in the life look like for you of just like creating? You get up,
I usually make beats at night.
wow, okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
cause I don't know, for me it's kind of like a better vibe. Like the vibe got to be there for you to even start anything. Like if the vibe not right, then you're not gonna be there all the way.
Mm. What do you require, like as far as the vibe goes? Is there lights? It's like how do you come to your first idea to even get started?
It's got to be like the lights.
Like what's your
Yeah.
go-to color?
I say maybe
Blue?
blue lights.
I find like it's
Yeah.
always like a blue or like an orange or a red. There's never
Yeah.
any like or like a purple. That's
Yeah.
everybody's.
I say a lot. I say a lot of people like they have like purple. Like purple is they go to lights. It's
Purple
crazy.
is fun.
Yeah.
I know a couple of people who like don't really mess with lights, but they'll light like hella candles for, and I guess that's their vibe. Um, so let's talk about the music that you're listening to today. Like, what kind of artists do you turn to, or what kind of artists do you aspire to work with, and you keep them in mind when you're creating?
Um. I like who's that? Wiz Khalifa. Like I like his kind of like his early years, like the 2010s, like that type of vibe. I like who's that? Nev. Like Nev. I think Nev. I think he was a producer before an artist. Like that's crazy. So like he was already like he was rapping on his own beats. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, his early stuff was produced by him, and like that's some of his best work was his early stuff as well.
Yeah.
And these are artists that you want to work with today.
Ah yeah, for sure. Wiz Khalifa, Nev. Who's that? Gunna. Like
Mm.
more of the like I like artists who kind of like their music is a vibe, and like my beats are a vibe. So like,
I was gonna say you aim for like the oh there we go
see me?
for the artists who like float
I
kind of.
can't hear you.
You can't hear me at all. Hello. Oh, you want to leave and come back in? Let's see what happened. Hello. Pardon the technical difficulties here, y'all. What's up, Bufo? Nice to have you back.
You hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Ooh, okay. So let me just scroll back up to these New Year's resolutions while we wait for him to come back. J Riggle Music said mine is to just keep up the consistency, get better and faster, and continue. Rock 5. Is that, am I saying your name right? I hope so. My goal is to keep growing and building my brands. Mars is back. Hello. Okay,
Gotcha.
now.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Like the screen flashed, and then I was like, I thought you were gone, and then you couldn't hear me, so I don't know what that was about, but it's all good. So let's talk about your favorite thing about BeatStars. Like, what is your favorite thing about BeatStars? It could be anything from like the interactiveness to the leases, whatever.
I would say like I like how you can post the beats to where people can automatically download it. Like that's
Mhm.
one of the most like unique things ever. Cause like back in the SoundClick days, there wasn't no automatic download. You had to go home and send the beats out like manually. So you had to wait and go to your email and like send beats out manually. But with BeatStars, it's kind of like automatic, so
And
it's
these
cool.
would be your free beats, right?
Or like if anybody purchased a lease or anything, like they can still like it automatically downloads.
Right. Um, so I want to know, I always ask people about their tips and tricks for getting the most out of BeatStars. Do you have any like hacks that people should absolutely know to make sure that they're getting themselves out there or that they're getting more sales? Any pro page tips, anything along those lines?
I would say promote yourself and like just don't like try to just push all your beats out at once. Like find a cycle that you can go by, like a routine or something, and just stick to that and promote it. Like everybody got their own little thing, so like you just gotta find your own thing.
So
I
when you
feel
say
like
promote, what do you mean by that? What does promoting look like for you?
um a lot of my sales I feel like comes from what's that, YouTube and Instagram. Like promoting like the website on Instagram, like that helps a lot. And I feel like YouTube, like when we just posting beats on YouTube, that helps a lot. But
I
with
actually
BeatStars, like I don't think I've ever like really put anything like on promo. Like that's
you've never.
another thing I want to get into more this year. Yeah, I think I've done it about maybe 4 times.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many ads I've seen in daily, to be honest. Sorry, I had to pull up your pro page because it looks so dope. Um,
Yeah.
I like your setup because I think you're the first setup where I've seen that we have the option to go straight to like the beats
Hmm.
and obviously like your licensing, but then I love that I could switch over to the about and see like who you are. You did a
Yeah,
great job with this. It's amazing, and your discography is over here too, which is crazy.
it's
Um,
crazy.
Sorry, I just wanted to show y'all this because this is what you guys need to be doing. It's making sure that you have like a website that people can land on and find you and learn about you and be able to reach out to you and contact you. This is Mars's pro page. So I'm gonna just get off this now. I just wanted to quickly go through that, but I wanted to show everybody. It looks so dope. Um, let's talk about some career highlights and some career lows. I want to know something that's been like super exciting for you, and then maybe a time that wasn't so exciting and how you were able to deal with that.
I go with the highest first. I would say like traveling. It's like the traveling part is the fun part because you get to see like different like artists, like the process of how each artist is. Like every
Mhm.
artist is like they're different, and like you get to actually like be in the studio, like around those people that you probably listen to, like knowing like maybe a year from now you'll meet them in person. Like it's crazy.
What's the craziest studio session you've ever been in? Like, what's the wildest thing that's ever happened while you've been in a session?
I would say when I met Dej Love, like that was
Ooh,
crazy. I met her at Two Short Studio in LA, downtown LA.
crazy.
And I think I was in the studio with Cash Money AP and Keo. It was like the
Nice.
same around the same time that Old Town Road came out. So like I seen who was that Keo. I seen him kind of like go from like here to here like overnight. Like that
In
was
the blink
crazy.
of an eye. That's
Yeah.
nuts.
But we were in there making beats, like, and like it was just like there's Lopes was finna pull up, and like she was looking for beats and stuff. Like she had a session, so she pulled up, and we just went into her session and like was playing beats with her and everything, and like it was just crazy. And
That
then it
was
was like
that.
it was maybe about like 12, 1 o'clock a.m. And like
Oh,
out there, I think LA is like 3 hours ahead. I think 3 hours behind.
real.
Yeah, I think they're 3 hours
Yeah,
behind. Yeah.
yeah.
So it was kind of like crazy.
You're
So
already
it was maybe
exhausted,
about yeah, it was maybe about 3, 4 o'clock here.
right? But you
It's
just
crazy.
gotta push through because you never know who's gonna pull up. But
Yeah,
just
you
to
never know.
so much greatness all at once, that's kind of crazy. What about some lows? Can you talk about something that might have been like tough for you as far as your career goes and how you dealt with that?
I would say like balancing out like family and like career,
Mhm.
like because like with the music industry and all that stuff, like it's a lot of your time is gonna be like away from your family and all that type of stuff, and like you're gonna constantly like be in the studios. You're gonna have to make time to make beats. Like the internet thing is one thing, but like you still have to like be moving around in like real life. Like you still have to go to like those big cities and network and put yourself out there. So I would say like just balancing that out, like that can get tiring. So how I deal with that is I kind of like go by a schedule and like kind of plan my trips like ahead so I can know like okay, I got this day to do this day to do that, and just basically like just build that routine.
Give yourself an itinerary. Very
Yeah,
important. So off the subject of that, COVID has had you at home. So you've been able
yeah,
to be with your family, but it's not afforded you the opportunity to get that in-person vibe
hmm
out of the studio or to travel, which is sometimes a huge catalyst for inspiration. So how are you coping with that? And how are you making that work for you? Like, what does a collaborative session look like for you during COVID?
um I say now everything is really like majority of everything is like over the internet.
Mhm.
So like just building with like other producers and like different cities and like just giving other people opportunities to like collab on a beat or anything like that. Because you never know, like the producer that's lower than you might be the producer in a year from now that'll be the next thing. So,
Are you open to collaborations? Like, what do you look for when
for sure.
collaborating with other people?
Usually like I would like I like to like be in a studio like with other producers like to get the vibe, see where like their head at and all that stuff. But majority of everything now is like if like they send me like a melody or a drum pattern or anything like that. If I like it, I just do my thing to it.
Let's talk about some of sorry, I'm like losing my words right now, but some of your credits. You got you got some you got some crazy names over here. I see some
That's
J Crit,
crazy.
Moneyman, Lil Skies, Dej Loaf, Too
hmm
Short. Your site said Juice World. So you want to tell me about, I don't know, pick like three of your favorites and
They're my
tell me how they
favorites.
could be. Yeah.
Um, One of my favorites I would say would be what was that Money Man
Mhm.
Energy, because like that was one of my like favorite beats like I put out, and I didn't think that that beat was actually gonna like get to that type of person or that type of artist.
So how did it get there?
Honestly, it was YouTube. I think I woke up one day and it was just he just threw it out. Like it was crazy,
So
but
wait,
like
you woke up he had just put out a track on your beat.
yeah.
So how did you get to be like, yo man, that's my my beat? Did he credit you?
Um
What was that?
yeah, like my tag and stuff was in it, so like I wasn't like I wasn't really like too messed up about it, but the beat, I think it had a sample in it, so like it was nothing like, yeah,
Got
it
it.
was one of those. But like, what was that? Maybe about 2 3 months ago. I think he DM'd me on Twitter
Oh
and
wow.
like was like, yeah, he was like send me some more stuff. So we have a lot of stuff coming soon, and we actually got another song out. I think it's called 9/11. He put that out maybe I think it was 2019.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's
Just
crazy.
I love hearing from you guys. Like there's a lot of the other BeatStars roster that have received placements and just woken up and seen
Yeah.
that and put out a song. What does that feel like? Like to see that? Like what do you do in that moment?
I feel like it's a happy but yeah, like kind of situation because it's like you're happy that like that the artist is on the beat, but you want to do the business part also.
Right. So you kind of feel a little frantic.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, but regardless of anything though, that's still like the artist is kind of like doing you a favor also because like they giving you more exposure and they opening the doors up for other artists to like hop on your beats. So not only like are like your beats are basically on their platform, so
Yeah,
it's
that
kind of cool.
it's a world of opportunities. Like, I mean, at
Yeah.
the end of the day, like, um, the goal is to get the business cleared and settled fairly
Hmm.
quickly and fairly, but the opportunity that it opens up outside of outside of that like small little
Yeah.
piece is pretty crazy. Tell me about two more. I want to hear about some more.
I would say the Dej Loaf technical file, like that was kind of crazy because like I made that beat. Um, Maybe I think it was like a day before I actually like sent it to her. I made it like a day before I sent it to her,
Mm,
and I didn't know. I didn't think that that was the beat that she was gonna pick. That was like the yes no beat. That makes sense.
yeah,
And like she
to
had
go
hit my
out.
manager. Yeah, she hit my manager up, and he was like, Dej Loaf had got one of your beats, and like they was trying to like put it out, put it on the album and all that stuff. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. But that was kind of dope because like when I met her in the studio, like I was tired, and I was like, man, I'm ready to go. And all this other stuff. Like I was excited, but it was kind of like I was excited but still tired at the same time.
Mhm. You're
But
human.
yeah, but
And that's kind of cool that that relationship was able to grow just off the strength of you meeting her there.
yeah,
So definitely see the importance of needing to be on road and stuff. Obviously, safely during COVID, but that's pretty nuts. What about one more? Give us one more.
I would say Too Short. He's cool. He's old. He's old school, but like
How did
he's
you
still
meet?
moving around.
Not everyone wakes
Actually,
up like, yeah, I have a two shortcut. Like, and you mentioned that you were at his studio, so it's like, how
yeah,
did this relationship happen?
I met him through like another artist like that I was like working with, and like one day his manager like had called me at I was on my way to Food City, and he had called me. He was like, "Yo," he was like, "Too Short like got one of your beats." Like it was like so random. He was like, "Too Short got one of your beats," and like we was trying to like fly you out, get you in the studio, and all this stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
So it was just like I just woke up and it was that.
So
And
wait,
like the
you love
artist manager
Too Short?
ended up becoming my manager. So it's crazy.
So wait, you flew out for Too Short? Is what you're
Yeah.
saying?
Hmm.
So what does that session end up looking like? Like what was that moment like for you? Because he's a legend. So
Yeah. It
please
was a
share.
vibe. Cause like I ended up I met Zaytoven like that same day. Like Zaytoven came to the studio like the same day, and I was like, wow, this is some crazy stuff. Like
Do you feel like all of this is like meant to be because you just keep ending up at the right place at the
yeah,
right place right time? Like all of this is pretty indicative of where your career is going to end up because these opportunities keep like falling into your lap.
Yeah.
Seems almost, I don't want to say it's effortless because I know that you do have to do a lot of work in order to gain these opportunities, but it's like it it's proof that if you do the work, the rest will come,
Yeah,
you
the
know?
rest will come. Just keep doing what you do, and that's why I say like just keep that same routine, and like eventually like it'll turn into something else. And crazy thing about it, it'll happen without you even really like knowing it until you actually like just look back at like maybe like pictures and all that type of stuff. Then you'll see. But it's crazy.
You know what's so funny is I don't know if this is something you would ever be interested in or anybody else in the chat, but I've been telling my friends to journal. I have a lot of friends who have a lot of weird luck the same way
Hmm.
you do, and even doing little things like jotting down like the crazy things that happened in your day just so you can remember, because when your career moves this fast and you have these experiences so quickly and they're one after the other, it's really easy to get them blurred, but you definitely need to remember your journey
Yeah.
in this process. So I just think that's so crazy, and like you have amazing things coming for you clearly. um, what's up, Martine? My homie's in the chat. That just made me so happy to see him. All right. So why did you sign with BeatStars? Like, what made you want to become part of the team, part of the family?
Maybe I seen like I feel like it's more than just like it's more than just like you signing. Like it's actually like we're building basically like a relationship. Like and that's the key thing that you're looking for when signing that deal. Like regardless of any like money or anything like that, the goal is to like build a relationship and you know like that way you can venture off into other stuff. Like
For sure.
I feel like that's just the key thing. Like it's more than like it's a relationship, and not only like BeatStars is the platform that I kind of like started on. So like it was like a why not?
There was already trust there.
Yeah, it was the trust was already there. Everything was already there. So like it was comfortable, like really comfortable.
I love that. It just sounded like an easy transition.
Hmm.
Um, what does this person say? All successful people keep a journal. Hey now, he said it on me. Um,
Yep.
moving on. I had my other question for you. You mentioned you have a manager. A
Hmm.
lot of people are self-managed because they don't have a lot of stuff going on, or they feel like they can, take it on their own. When did you know you needed a manager? When did you decide that was something that was right for you?
Um, like I'll say like when dealing with like selling like exclusive rights, like
Mm.
the internet is one thing, but like being in person is another. So like, and my manager, he's one of the ones that like he's a businessman. So like he knows how to like move around. He's been around in the music industry for like a long time. Like he knows a lot of people. So like it's kind of like easy. Like when you have someone like that you can trust. Like with like moving around, getting your beats to like different artists, getting you into like different studios, and like you don't meet people like that like too often. So
Yeah, having somebody
yeah.
to advocate for you, like, and now between like having BeatStars and having a manager, you kind of have that like that twofold approach to it, which is amazing. And then
Mhm.
that takes away like the awkwardness of needing to negotiate or like advocate for yourself and people to kind of
Yeah.
pressure you or whatever. Not to say that everybody necessarily needs a manager to do that. I know a lot of you are strong and tough on your own, but
Yeah.
I think that's really
I mean,
great.
honestly, it just like depends on like what you like. You got to think like long term. So like, if you know that eventually like you're gonna go out into other stuff, like not only like just with the music business, it can be like a clothing brand or just any other sort of thing. Like it's always good to have like another person who can kind of like manage that because you're not gonna be able to do everything. Like
Right.
you're gonna stress yourself out. So yeah.
How do you keep yourself informed? Like how do you go about learning the business so that you know what to look for as well?
Mm, honestly, I'm still like learning a lot of stuff. Like, cause it didn't just happen like just me learning something and then that was just it. Like it's
Right.
always gonna be like new stuff to learn.
Absolutely.
And
It's
like
the daily thing.
yeah, it's basically like it's a journey. Like it really is. Like it's a journey. Like everybody have their own little journey. Like they're gonna meet other people, learn different stuff. Like it's crazy.
And I like that you said that. It's a perfect segue because you did also mention that your name means something. It's not just what it is front facing. Do you want to tell
Ah
people?
yeah.
Go
Yeah, it stands it Mars, like it really stands for like making our role successful. And like the Z, it was like it's kind of just for the vibe. Like the S, it just looked weird.
You're just
You
trying to
know what
sauce
I'm
it
saying?
up. That's
Yeah,
all.
you gotta sauce it up, put the drip on it.
So
But
why did you want to come? Why did you want to use that acronym? And when you say all roles, like what kind of spaces are you trying to fill outside of music?
with just anything, like I honestly like I plan on like starting my own clothing brand soon.
Hmm,
Like that's like another thing like I've been trying to get into, and yeah, it's crazy, but like I said, make our role successful. Like I was before, like I was making beats. Like I also like I played the drums. I was in a marching band at Tennessee State.
crazy.
So like I was starting freshman on the field, like all that. So just anything I do, I just put my all into it. So I feel
I
like anything I've done, I excelled. Like I've excelled at it.
Let's talk about the marching band a little bit because here
Yeah,
in Canada, we don't have the big homecoming games. We don't have like cheerleaders. We don't have none of that. And so my experience of watching bands is like you guys when it's on TV or in movies and stuff. So can you talk about how that's played into you, helping you create, but also the fun of it? I would love to hear about that.
The fun I would say would be like the when you perform at the games. Like it was cool. Like the first game, I ain't gonna lie, I was nervous. Like as you going out in front of thousands of people, and like if you mess up, somebody's gonna hear it. So that really like it played a big role on like me making beats, because like a lot of my beats, like my percussion sounded like the drum patterns, like some of the drum patterns that we used to like play
Mm,
at Tennessee State.
that's so dope.
Like a lot of my drums actually comes from like me knowing how to drum.
That's so crazy. Someone's like, yo, TSU 2020 graduate, head drum major of the AOB. I don't know what that means. I hope that means something to you. But
Crazy.
there's a question here in the chat. Did you have an attorney before having a manager? Any suggestions on which is best first? You
I would say get a manager first, because they're gonna know like exactly what type of attorney or anything that you like would need. Because like sometimes you'll end up with an attorney like not even that doesn't know like exactly what you're doing. If that makes
Mhm,
sense.
mhm. I think I think it can go either which way.
Yeah, it can go either way.
Yeah, I just want to add my 2 cents on that. I think, you know, for you to need an attorney, that means that you have, business that needs to be taken care of
Yeah,
pretty immediately. So, my only suggestion there would be to make sure that you're finding somebody who deals with your type of music
yeah,
or has an understanding of the landscape of your genre or whatever the case may be. Or when people are looking for managers, I just have to ask, like, do you have enough to manage? Like, do you have something to manage? And
yeah,
obviously, like, a lot of people look to get managers to, help them push their careers forward, but you gotta have something there for them to actually work with. So I think I don't know if there's anything that's necessarily best first. I think it depends on your current situation and
yeah,
how much attention your work needs and how immediate. A lot of times a manager will know how to read contracts and stuff and negotiate for you as well. So
hmm,
like Mara said. So I want to jump into your music. So let's do
okay.
that. Let me share my screen. Share. Wow, you guys are so active in the chat today. I love this. Um, Do you have any tips on how to get established in the industry, getting people to buy your beats? I don't live in the US, so I can't go to Atlanta and network like that. I'm trying to do right now. I'm
Um, I would say you gotta have the sauce. You gotta have the drip. Like your beats gotta be something amazing. Like you just gotta stand out. Like a lot of times, like you will like eventually like develop your own kind of like sound, and like it'll kind of like sell itself. But
yeah,
like
and
I try not to like when I'm making beats, like I just make what I make what I like, and like people like it.
yeah, and I think, tips to getting established in the industry is like you got to network.
Yeah,
You
you
got
gotta
to do
network.
the research and you have to know how to effectively network. Like we talk about this all the time. Don't hit people up like, yo, bro, listen to my beats. I hope you could
Yeah,
produce it. Like build genuine relationships. If there's an artist that you like, who is that artist manager? Who is that artist
yeah,
A&R? Or are they independent? Can you just talk to the artist directly? Is there a television show that you really like? Who does the music supervision for that? Try and find, ways to connect and be present. I know
yeah,
it's so simple, but even as far as BeatStars goes, like there's a handful of you guys in the chat that I see all the time in here, like interacting. So then I start remembering your names, and then I see y'all on the platform, and it's just easy for me to click on your names because I see this person, I know who they are,
yeah,
So, and I know there's a couple people in here who can probably attest to that. So it's just be human and go out there and try to learn and interact and be respectful and find where you can fit in.
yeah.
Cloud Nine.
Also, I would say, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I was just gonna say, Cloud9 says he's gotten TV placements and industry relationships just by doing what I just said. So that's that. What were you gonna say?
I would say like another thing is kind of like just find an artist, like a dope artist, and like kind of like build with them, like while they're like low key.
For sure.
Cause like
That,
if you build with, let's just say 5, 6 artists that are like low key, like maybe a year or two from now, one of them are like bound to like something will happen. Like one of them gonna blow up. So it's just good to always like don't limit yourself to just like trying to like work with bigger artists. Like the smaller artists are the ones that's gonna be having a big impact in like the future.
exactly. It's a slow climb, steady build. Like don't get discouraged because stuff's not happening overnight. Um, and you can do all of those things too, but the other thing you have to do is really just work on your craft and make sure that your stuff is seamless because there's hundreds of people trying to do the same thing or get to the same people you are. Someone says showing face, even if it's digitally, can make some really great working relationships. I've built great relationships off just commenting positively on people's music over time. You see, like people will
Yeah,
start to recognize you in that kindness. So I hope that answers your question. I hope you find that helpful. Thank you for adding your 2 cents in that, Mars. It's really helpful. Oh, and one more thing. I keep seeing comments about age in here. And, I'm not necessarily sure that age matters as long as your shit's fire. You know what I
oh
mean?
yeah. I know some 16, 17 year olds that are like killing it. Like literally.
Yeah. The opposite end of that, you could be like, not to say that like being in your 30s and 40s makes you old necessarily. It doesn't
Yeah.
phase you out of the game. Do you see how many like legends are
Yeah.
still active in the music industry and they're like pushing 50, 60? Like that doesn't matter. Don't let that be like a barrier for you. Just be a good person and make sure your music's fire and work hard. Like that's pretty much it. You're 41, do your thing though. That doesn't
Yeah.
mean anything. All right, I want to play your music. So let's get into that. We're getting really look at this. I'm 45 and just started producing. Am I dead in the water or no? I don't think so. I think if you really want it, you're gonna make it happen. Period. So, Mars, which track you want to start with?
Um, I'll let you pick.
Ooh, okay. I'm looking at the tags here. Um, I want to start with this Playboy Cardi track. I want to start with Lone. you have any stories for this or how it came to be?
That one, it wasn't supposed to be like it wasn't supposed to be up tempo. Like it was honestly, it was supposed to be like a kind of like an eerie beat, but it just turned into something else.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
I
Okay,
forgot what
guys.
year I made that beat.
Sorry?
So I forgot what year like I made that beat. Like that beat was a while ago, but it's one of my favorites. For
Well, we're
sure.
gonna run regardless, guys. So also, Mars, I forgot to let you know. So something we do here, what I do is I make people rate the tracks out of Tim Boots. So out
Hmm.
of 5 Tim Boots. So you guys, if you have the Ill Mind Timberland emoji, you can drop out of 5 Tim Boots. How many? If not, use whatever boot emoji you got. I personally love the Lady Tim Boot. I don't know who named it that in the chat, but you guys send me every time, and also let me know who you guys hear these tracks on. Let's go. Let me turn this up.
Mars. 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 Mars.
Someone said they heard Nav on that beat and they gave you 5 Tim Boots.
Yeah, I can hear Nav on that.
That'd be hard. I love that this conversation about age is still going on. Guys, you could do whatever you want to do in life at whatever time. All the time you have is happening right now. You hear me? All right, next beat. You want to pick this one?
I picked Mars.
My mouse is literally hovered over it. So perfect. So this you tag this as Money Man.
Yeah.
So let's hear what this sounds like.
Mars. Mars. Mars.
I don't know if you can see the comments from your phone or not.
Yeah, I
Cloud9.
see someone said they put 1, 2, 3. They put the leg in the fire. Like
Oh yeah, that's the Lady Tim Boot. Gave you 5 Tim Boots and 4 flame emojis. Cloud9 said, I'm about to meet my goals no matter what age type beat. Holy smokes, bro. All right. And you got a lot of comments on drums. They said the drums were knocking. So there you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, a lot of people like my drums. That's crazy.
That's that Tennessee State. That's the
Yep.
school.
Tennessee State. Push the crack.
All right, so let's hit. I want to leave Diamonds for last because that's the most played one that you shared.
Yeah.
So we'll save that one. Let's hit Fear. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Mars. Mars. Mars.
So somebody asked if you can give any mixing tips.
Mixing tips. It's crazy. Like a lot of my beats, like my drums, kind of like already be mixed before I even like use them. So like the drums, like they kind of like already mixed when I'm using them. So the only thing I really have to do is kind of like just like level them. But I would say like just keep like your 808s and like out of the low end stuff. Like cut the highs out of like the low end stuff, and like cut the low end out of the high end stuff. That makes sense.
Got it. Everybody went up for that beat. Somebody said Gunna, which is what
Yeah.
you have tagged. Someone said we can hear Wiz on this because he has a few songs with video game samples, and I guess it was giving
Yeah, for
video
sure.
game vibes, which is fire.
Yeah, when I made that beat, I was kind of like thinking the same thing, but it's more of a like a space kind of like techno vibe, like you said, like a video game. It sound like a beat that'll probably be in a video game. It's crazy.
Someone asked, what monitors did you start with?
Monitors. I started with KRK, I think Rocket 5s, and I had what's that? M Audio, the Mackie MR5s. I think they were what they're called. I think they were like M Audio.
There you go. All right. So we got some more. Count Up and then Diamonds. Okay.
Mars. Mars.
That was a little vibe. Someone
Yeah,
said
that
that
beat goes crazy.
was Cypher, which is true.
It's kind of like
Someone said baby.
said Lil Baby.
Yeah. What were you gonna
Yeah,
say?
for sure. You said what?
I was gonna say, what were you gonna say? Because I thought you were starting to say something, but then I had cut you off by accident.
All right. Yeah, they like that beat. It's a club beat for sure. Like it got a bounce to it.
Yeah, I was
A
vibing.
club bounce to it.
Somebody who's asking if you have a sync placement, and that's definitely something you didn't talk about, but you do.
Yeah.
You have a track on Love and Hip Hop.
Yeah, Love and Hip Hop.
So do you want to talk really briefly, because we're running out of time, kind of? But do you want to tell them how you got that, how that came to be?
I was working with this artist named Mickey Monday. He actually I think he DM'd me on Instagram and he was like, "Yo, I got one of your beats. Like I bought one of your beats from your site." And he was like, "I was wanting to use it like for Love and Hip Hop Hollywood."
Wow.
And yeah, that's crazy. But they ended up sending me like over a contract, like with the scent license and all that stuff, and I didn't know. That was my first time dealing with something like that, so I'm like, "What the crap?" Like, it's crazy. But I ended up talking to my manager about it, and like he got everything handled, and it was cool. Like I actually I think they played it on TV like a few times.
And that's a check
Like,
every time.
yeah, it's
Almost
crazy.
All right, so this is the last beat on this playlist, and it's your highest played on this playlist. Tell us about this before we play it. Like,
That was one of my favorite beats. Like I knew it was gonna like blow up, if that makes sense. Cause I don't know, for some reason like that beat's special. Like it's a like a struggle beat. So like that beat, like whatever artists hop on that beat, they're probably gonna talk about like where they came from, how they came up, or anything like that.
it's a
But
storytelling beat.
yeah, storytelling beat.
Let's go. All right. Diamonds by Mars Beats 95. It's the last track we're going to play today before we head out. Enjoy, guys.
Mars. Mars. Mars.
Okay, I let that run like way longer than I normally do, but it's
Yeah,
fire.
yeah,
Definitely.
that beat crazy.
I just want I want you guys to go check out Mars' page so you can go see what else he has going on over there. But let me just drop your website link and your Instagram in the chat. Follow him, like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so before we head out, just let people know before we do all that, I want you to shout out one producer that people should have their eye out on aside from you in 2021?
I would say my cousin, 2K Trey. Yeah,
2K
he's
Trey.
coming up behind me. Yep.
All right, Trey. I hope you hear that. You got some shoes
Yup,
to fill,
yup.
my okay, so let people know where they can find you, and shout yourself out. Do everything you need to do before we wrap this up.
Okay, sure. Y'all can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, like all of them. Mars Beats 95. I'm everywhere. So, thank you all for having me today.
Thank you for
And
joining us. Thank you
yep,
for being part of the BeatStars family. We appreciate you, value you, and wishing you all the best in 2021. Sounds like you're going to have a lot of great things coming for you. So can't wait to see
yep,
it. Hope you guys stay tuned as well. Make sure to follow Mars on everything. Connect. He already said he's open to collab. So, slide in the DMs or whatever, respectfully.
yep, for sure.
Not no, yo, bro, check out my beats.
Yeah, and I know yo, bro.
None of that. All right. Thank you, everybody. Be safe. I'll see you guys next week. Same place, same time. Be well.
Yep.
And wear your masks, guys. These COVID
Yeah, for
cases are
sure.
pocket. Put your mask on. Wash your hands. Stop going to people's houses. Stop going to functions. You don't need to be doing all that. Stay in your house. We want to be able to travel. Mars wants to travel. He wants to go to a studio. Think about him.
Yep.
All right.
Sure.
All right. Later, everybody.